have done this a handful of times. Caleb is with me. He's done it hundreds of times, taking people on tours, and it's still, every single time, it's just such an awe-inspiring experience. Being able to get that close to the falls, there's lots of big waterfalls all around the world, but one that is that large and that powerful, nothing beats going on Maid of the Mist and getting up close and personal to it. Definitely a must-do when you come here.
There are many attractions in Niagara Falls, but only one has been here since before the Civil War, before Canada became a separate nation, before I was even a tour guide a long time ago, and that is the legendary Maid of the Mist. Before this was a boat ride, it was a person. Her name was Layla Walla, and Layla Walla was a Native American folktale specifically for the Iroquois that lived within this area. And there are many different iterations of this story, but most of them include Layla Walla taking a canoe ride over Niagara Falls and being caught in the mist by Hino, the thunder being, which they believed lived within the mist. She fell in love with his son, and when you see rainbows in the mist, which you see every day here in Niagara Falls almost, if there's a sunny day, you're seeing Layla Walla with her love calling out to her people. For many years, these were tugboats, but as of 2020, they're now electric boats and the more catamaran style boats like you can see here today. It takes about 8 minutes to charge these up fully, and they take them one by one into the Canadian Horseshoe Falls. For those of you that are concerned about getting wet, being, so close to a waterfall, they do provide you with a blue souvenir poncho that you can keep. The easiest way to put it on is like this. There are no bad spots on this boat. I've done this boat over 1,000 times. Top, bottom, front, back, there are no bad spots. There are no dry spots. The driest spot I think is up by the observation deck up top. And they turn the boat so you'll be able to see everything no matter where you go. We're passing now the two US-owned falls, American Falls and Bridal Falls. And as you can see, there are many rocks here. This is why all of the daredevils that go over Niagara Falls on purpose go over the Canadian Horseshoe Falls, not these. You would never survive them. We're about to head into the Canadian Horseshoe Falls, about 2,500 feet wide, just about 180 feet high. What I like to call them, though, is my office. I can see why people say, if you come to Niagara Falls and don't do the Maid of the Mist, were you really ever here? Behind me is the Cave of the Winds attraction, which are wooden decks built in front of the American Falls every single year. Behind me is the Rainbow Bridge, which is one of the many bridges that take you into Canada from the United States. Before some of these bridges were built, the Maid of the Mist was the primary way to get across the gorge and the Niagara River. It more became a tourist attraction like it is today after the bridges were built. After you've completed the Maid of the Mist boat tour, included in the ticket with the poncho and the boat ride are these steps here called the Crow's Nest, which takes you right next to the American Falls, and the observation deck that we're going to next. Oh look, beautiful rainbow. We have a beautiful day with almost no wind, but I would normally recommend, if you're gonna do this Crow's Nest, make sure and keep the poncho that the Maid of the Mist gives you, because this mist here typically will blow at the Crow's Nest and you get really, really wet if you weren't wet enough as it is. So here we are on the New York State Observation Deck, which is a great view of all three falls, but also a great place to come back and see the falls lit up at nighttime and fireworks at 10 p.m. through the summer. The only exit is through the gift store here at Maid of the Mist, and I know what you're thinking, why do I have to exit through a gift shop again? But it's a really nice store, and it's actually the only place where you can get merchandise that has the Maid of the Mist logo on it. Also in the Maid of the Mist store, you have the original ship's wheel from the original Maid of the Mist 1, back when it was still a steamboat. Well, that concludes our ride on the Maid of the Mist and our overview of the Maid of the Mist tour and what it includes. If you enjoyed, please subscribe below. Also, you can go to exploreniagara.com for your tickets, as well as any tickets for any attraction in the area and information. Thank you so much for visiting.